Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day and a wonderful life, of course. Today I'm going to be showing you guys some of my favorite romance novels, manga, and manhwa, and this is in a collaboration with Courtney from the Book Nook Corner on YouTube. I'm going to leave everything down below and her video, of course. She's going to be doing some of her favorite romance novels for the summer, so please check out her channel and let's go ahead and get into it. The runner-up is Silence is Golden Saga. This is actually a Wattpad original that came out like years back. I think this was when I was in high school. They have the physical edition and they also have it available on the Kindle as well. Now, it's not one of them crazy Wattpad stories. This one you get to follow the life of Lily Linton, a young woman, a feminist, living in 19th century London. Basically, one day she ends up at a polling station dressed as a man and she meets this guy, Rickard Ambrose, one of the most richest businessmen in London, helps him save some money. Forgot what exactly happened, but basically he tells her, come to my office tomorrow morning and I have a job for you. She does end up there in the morning, but she comes as herself in a dress. So eventually he does hire her, but he does not make her life easy at work. But be mindful that this story might be a little bit slow in the beginning, but it's a really great slow burn romance. There's a lot of adventure, action, and lots of banter. The second one on the list is called The Hating Game. This one's another enemies to lovers. This one is more so like an office witty romance. I really do like this book. This is actually my favorite, one of my favorite books of this year so far. It's a lot of banter, there's a lot of childish games that they play, like the staring game and whatnot. There's a lot of tension there as well, but I really do like this story. I do suggest to read the book and don't watch the movie, or either read the book and then watch the movie. But honestly, the movie it does not do the book justice at all. Like, they totally changed it. Don't like it, don't recommend. 1 out of 5. The next book on the list is called By a Thread by Lucy Score, and I've been wanting to read one of her books for a very long time, and this was the first one that I chose to get. This one is another enemies to lovers office romance, but with a grumpy boss. So the story starts off at a pizza shop where Allie works at, and Dominique, aka Grumpy Face, walks in, and from the bat they don't like each other. They're getting into it with each other, and Allie may have or may have not written FU with pepperoni on his pizza, which in turn gets her fired. But his mother, which is a CEO, ends up hiring her, and they're basically forced to work with each other, and there's a lot of tension. It's very spicy, and honestly this is a really good story behind it. It was very witty, very funny, all of that you want in a romance. So the fourth book on this list is called Twisted Love. Say it with me, y'all. This is another enemies to lovers romance. This kind of has the trope of like, should I be dating my best friend's sister and should I be dating my brother's best friend type of thing, but it's not the main focus. Both of them have a very traumatic background. I felt like Ava's situation was kind of suspenseful because she wasn't sure what happened to her when she was drowning in the river, but the story kind of unraveled and we found out what happened to her. But I felt with Alex's story, it kind of just dropped. Like, it wasn't as suspenseful or like as shocking, but besides that, the actual story, the romance, the characters are really good. This is actually a continuing series but with different characters, and they are sprinkled into the next books as well. So this next book, Under the Oak Tree, I've actually shown y'all on my Kindle unboxing video. You guys can check it down below if you guys want to check it. I actually started a manhwa on the app called Manta, which I'm going to show you guys later. But I really do like the novel version because it's just more in-depth and it just shows more of it. And it's a little bit more graphic too, rather than the manhwa. Even though the manhwa is just a little bit on the more graphic side compared to some other manhwas and whatnot, but this one's really good. This one is a fantasy romance about a stuttering, low self-esteem eldest daughter of an abusive duke. She's basically forced into a marriage with a peasant knight, Riften Calypse. We see early on that Riften actually has like feelings for her, and she's like slowly having feelings for him as well. Just the way that she was brought up just kind of backfires a lot of times for her to express herself and just to feel secured, I guess, in the relationship and just as a person in total. But this story is pretty wholesome. It's very nice. It's a very beautiful story, and I would really recommend start the novel before doing the manhwa if you decide to read the manhwa later in the future. Next on the list is Spyfamily. Now this one isn't really a romance one. It's the romance part is kind of on the back seat, but it's a very popular anime and manga series, which is basically like a slice of life type of story. We have an assassin, a spy, and a telepath. So it's a really good story, and I just wanted to add it into this video. Next on the list is called Sweat and Soap. Asuko, she's working at a toiletry maker, Lilia Drop. She has a lot of She's really ashamed, self-conscious about her body odor. But one day, the leading product developer went up to her and was like, "Can I smell you?" She was like, "What the freak?" So that kind of started this whole little romance thing that's like I really like it, and I think it's a really good read. These two mangas that I'm going to show you guys is based in high school, so it has the whole high school trope thing, if you're into it or not. But Kaguya-sama is a really funny, good romance comedy manga. I would highly suggest to watch the anime as well because it's very funny. The comedic timing is just genius. Ian Sinclair is one of the greatest narrators ever. This next one is called Maid-sama. This one I fell in love with the anime, and sadly the anime is not finished. I think she's a class president, and she's always strict on the boys at school versus the girls. And one of the guys, I think he's one of the president or something, or like the runner-up, he sees her working at a maid cafe, and that basically just starts their little romance story. So Marry My Husband is like a modernized reborn again type of story. In her first life she has cancer, and then she finds out that her husband has been cheating on her with her best friend, so-called best friend child. Yeah, she just basically gets a second chance at life, and this one's just really pretty. You just have to read it to know what's going on. The Remarried Empress is literally one of my favorite top manhwas that I would really suggest to read. This one is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's finally back on for season 2 after several months, and it's just showing the life of like what happened when her husband came out and said that he would like a divorce so he can marry his concubine child. And it's a really nice story, and it kind of has a little bit of fantasy to it, just a little bit. I would suggest y'all to kind of like read the panels that I have on the screen, because after this part here, after the emperor says that he wants a divorce, the rest of the story just basically shows like what built up to that, and it's a really good, I don't know, I just really like it, and I would really recommend this book. Here we are with another enemies to lovers manhwa called Till Death Do Us Part. This one, they were actually friends when they were younger. It's just the guy is kind of like hard-headed and seems kind of standoffish because of things that happened when he was younger. So that kind of shows up in his adulthood as well. Later on, they make a deal on getting engaged to each other. Both of them have their own reasons, but hers was to pay off the debt that she owes him, helping her out when she was younger. Next on the list is It Was All a Mistake. This one's another fantasy romance one. It's supposed to be another reborn story of the female protagonist, and she ends up trying to befriend Nocturne Edgar, which is a black mage, and he can basically hear, sense, and even control people's thoughts and emotions, but for some reason he can't do it to Miss Ma'am. So this story is very intriguing, and honestly there's a lot of in the background of these two are very intriguing and entertaining. So The Broken Ring, This Marriage Will Fail Anyway, was actually the first manhwa I ever read because I seen an advertisement on Instagram and I thought it was intriguing. Even though in the beginning it looks very, like the guy's a scumbag or whatnot, but the more you read into the story, the more you understand him, and it's very sweet. And especially when you read the first chapter, it's kind of sad reading into the story and also finding out about the female protagonist. Villainess Lives Again is one of my favorite manhwas with a villainess in it. This one's a little bit different. This one's a reincarnation one again, where basically she discovers that her brother, which she made into emperor, betrayed her and basically was accusing her of killing one of her sons, I believe. So in turn, she finds one of his rivals and makes a pact with him, which includes a marriage. So they have to come together and come up with some schemes to be able to overthrow him and possibly maybe off you know what I mean. So it has a really good plot, and I love the way that they like fall for each other in the story. So this is the last time you're going to hear me saying enemies to lovers, but this one is called Revenge Wedding, where basically two people kind of get caught up and are forced to marry each other even though they don't really like each other, they don't know each other, or so it seems like. But yeah, that's gonna be all for this video, for this book recommendation video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me know if you have ever read any of these, if you read manga, manhwa, or if you're interested after this video, please let me know. And I see you guys on the flippity flip. This is